Am I in Versailles? No, I'm actually dans un café, and today we're going to discover all the most beautiful cafés à Paris. Et maintenant, nous sommes dans le Café Nemours, which is, yes, I'm not drinking a cafe, but it's one of the best people watching cafes de tout Paris. Et j'aime beaucoup because the architecture behind me is like the Roman columns. Et c'est juste à côté de la Comédie Française, the French comedy. Et à ma droite, j'ai le Palais Royal, the park that I absolutely love. Et à ma gauche, j'ai le Louvre. So strategically and the position of it, c'est superbe. Et là, j'ai pris une menthe à l'eau. So actually, what is menthe à l'eau is un sirop de menthe with a bit of lemonade. And I absolutely love this cafe because from the outside, c'est magnifique. Mais aussi, when you're sitting here, quand tu t'assois ici, tu as l'impression d'être dans Paris dans les années 50. You feel like you're in Paris in the 50s. It's one of the best cafes to people watch. So if you come to Paris, you absolutely have to come au café Le Nemours. And actually, it was inspired from the name of an author called Colette Le Nemours. That's why it got the name of this place. And c'est dans le Palais Royal. Now it's a weekend, so we can see people sur la place en train de danser, dancing in the open air space. And it's a great place to grab a typical French brasserie lunch. And also you can just come for a coffee or just come for a drink. Mais c'est vraiment un endroit super pour regarder les personnes. It's an amazing place to just people watch and enjoy a perfect day à Paris. Now nous sommes à Noir Cafe. We're in Noir Cafe, a beautiful cafe in the 9e arrondissement, the 9th district. Allons-y. Et nous voici now dans Noir Cafe. I've been here before in another video. I wasn't the biggest fan because the service wasn't great, but this one is so amazing because it's dans une ancienne galerie, an old gallery, and also there are huge windows, so lighting is so good, gives a good cozy vibe, and the barista was very nice, even gave water for Meme. So this is probably one of the prettiest, most hype cafes I believe to be at Paris. So definitely come check it out if you're in this area and if you want to try one of their barista cafes. Wow, so I got one of their teas, their thé noir, their black teas, because not too much caffeine every day. So let's try. It's thé noir aux fruits des bois, so like forest black tree tea. Very good. And I really like it here because I was expecting it to be very full of people because it's such a like hype cafes, Noir cafes, quite new in Paris. But this one is quite empty, and we're a Sunday, on est un dimanche, not many people. And the barista was very nice, and I feel like it's still very cozy. And the people I can hear around me are all French speakers, so much less touristic than the other one we did the last time, the other Noir. So it means that we need to give places always a second chance, une deuxième chance. If you didn't have the best experience in one cafe of the same chain, always try it one more time, maybe you will like it. And now, next, we are in the next prettiest cafes, which is le Café Carette. It's a very famous cafe, tea house, pastry store that's existed since 1927, since 1927. And today here, I ordered some of my favorites. I ordered un chocolat chaud, which I love hot chocolate, especially with this weather. I ordered un pain au chocolat because I previously made a video about all the pain au chocolats in Paris, which you can go check out. And my absolute favorite dessert is Mont Blanc. So I ordered a mini version of un Mont Blanc very excited to eat these. And this time we're inside because I made a video of this cafe before of the old cafes versus modern cafes, which was outside. You can also see that. But the reason why I like it here is because it's mixed with both like locals, people who come here very often, and also with tourists. And they're very pet friendly and the staff is very nice. But their pastries all are amazing. And what I would recommend for you to do when you come to Paris to this cafe is, if it's nice weather, sit on the terrace. It might have a bit of waiting time, but it's worth it. And all their famous pastries, including le Mont Blanc, they have it like in mini version, en petite version for €2.80. So if you just want to taste a new pastry, it's absolutely worth it. Ça vaut le coup. Super bon le chocolat, so good the hot chocolate. And actually the reason why a lot of people love this cafe, not just for the aesthetic point of view, is the history. It was started in Place du Trocadéro by a guy called Jean Carette with his wife Madeleine. And it started as a salon de thé and a pastry place. And it's crazy that after all these years, they managed to keep this cozy vibe with having really high quality pastries, and they kept kind of the feeling of the tea house initially. And then they spread out to Place des Vosges, which is where I am right now, in Le Marais, which is the one that I love to go to because I love this area in Paris. But I would say this is one of my favorite cafes is because it has the feeling of les années 30, so the années folles des années 30, so you feel like you're in a movie from the 30s, and kind of even the architecture of the arches outside, c'est vraiment magnifique. And the interior has like some paintings, very bright, very spacious. I really like coming here. And honestly, sometimes there's not that many people, so you can really just have un café au calme et profiter de la vue and make the most of the view. Looks like this cafe is in Versailles, but it's actually not. It's part of an American chain, which I'm gonna let you guess which one. Write to me in the comments if you may know. I usually don't go to chain cafes because I prefer independent local cafes from the city, but c'est fou. Like, it really looks like if the Opera Garnier, because we're right next to Opera Garnier, had a coffee shop, it would be here. And the reason why it looks like Versailles is because this actually used to be an independent opera house, because we're not far from l'Opéra de Paris, l'Opéra Garnier. And it's crazy to think that they remade it, remodeled it into a cafe, and the people next to me are co-working. We're all just drinking coffees, hot chocolates. And it's crazy to think that we have this open to us and that we're in the 19th century in an old opera house. C'est absolument magnifique. Right now I'm looking at the reviews because I like to do this in places, in cafes that I like, and they're so funny. They're super hilarious. Like, the 1 stars are saying that it's only for the decor, and they were saying the service is not great. The experience we had today, I think the service was all right. And there's a lot of French people also saying, like, don't support this chain, which is funny too. And the 5 stars are from people like in Kansas City or in Michigan, and they're like, with loads of glamour. I think you can guess by now what chain this is, and I wondered if the places like that in your country also look like this, the city also look like this, because I would have never thought that they would have this magnifique café, que ce serait ouvert à tout le monde, that it would be open to everyone, and that you can just appreciate being in an old opera house. Et aussi, I think les prix sont un peu chers, like the prices are a bit high, like even for the hot chocolate and the coffee. And I think this chain is very Americanized, and so it might not please to like most French people, and that's why just sitting here I can hear like a lot of different languages. But it's interesting because this place was one of the first places I came to try to co-work, like de travailler chez soi solo. c'était difficile de trouver un endroit à Paris. It was really hard to find like a place where I could work, co-work, and this happened to be one of the only places. So c'est aussi pas un endroit si mal pour travailler, to have a cup of coffee, just catch up with people. And I would say, of course, since we're in the very touristic part of Paris, fais attention à tes affaires, like be careful of your things, because I was passing and someone was saying that they don't have their jackets, so fais attention. But other than that, c'est un café très magnifique, and I would say it's worth trying one time. Perhaps you don't need to go to this chain all the time you're in Paris, but pour une fois, ça vaut le coup. Maintenant, and now we're in the cafe actually that was recommended me by one of you guys, which I discovered recently and I really love. C'est le Café Campagna. So le Café Campagna is actually the cafe that's located dans le Musée d'Orsay, inside of the Musée d'Orsay. And the reason why it's evening now, because usually I go to cafes by day, is because tous les jeudis, every Thursday, you can go pour un tarif réduit for a lower price. You can go there and actually visit the museum by night. Donc, je te conseille de le faire. I really recommend you to come by night. But yeah, I feel like the energy of the cafe is very relaxed, and also the prices are quite affordable for being in such a rich old train station and famous museum. Genre, c'est un endroit super pour prendre un café, pour se relaxer. And that's why this is, for me, one of the most beautiful ones, because right behind me, tu as aussi l'horloge. You have the clock. So you actually feel like you're in a movie. T'as l'impression d'être dans un film. Et voilà, that's the end of our beautiful cafes video. Let me know which one you thought was the most beautiful. Lequel était ton préféré in the comments, and why. And if I have missed any, if you've been to Paris and you recommend any cafes, I'm always curious to find out new ones, parce que j'adore les cafés. Speaking of which, there's gonna be another video of my favorite cafes, personal ones, because today's was more about the aesthetic, the beautiful ones. Donc, mes cafés favoris, which you can watch after this video. Of course, thank you for watching this video and for your support. I read all the comments and I appreciate it. Also on Instagram, some of you came to Instagram and commented some of the photos. And if you haven't yet, you can see it right here. Tu peux le voir juste ici. Donc, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Et à très bientôt. See you very soon. Merci.